around us was kind of aware what was going on. And those 10 or 12 people were not paying much attention to Mass at the moment. But eventually he did get it off and gave it to me. And you could just hear this from everybody. And so then when we got back home, he gave me my blue teddy bear. He and a cousin of ours named Walt Mager, we would go to fairs and festivals and stuff, and I don't know how many balls they threw at bottles and stuff to win a teddy bear for me. So he gave up trying and he gave me one. So that's Boo Bear that's sitting up in the closet now. And you guys played with him too.
Yes.
And so then the other one that was special was a sad one, but special. The year after Grandpa died, Uncle Richard and Uncle Mike's dads both died within months after Grandpa died that year. So Susie, being homesick from the day that she ever walked outside the door for anything, wanted me to come down there for Christmas. And I was very reluctant and I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I spent the day before Christmas, or the couple days before Christmas, with Susie and Richard, and we had Christmas presents there. And then Christmas Eve, I got on a plane and went up to Atlanta, where Anthony and Uncle Mike were at the time. And his mother was there, and Jeff, too.
Oh, Jeff.
And Jen and I, Mike's mom and I, became friends almost the minute we ever met. And so, at first we were sad and together and crying because our hubbies were gone. And so Jen and Jeff went with me and Cindy to an afternoon mass in a church nearby that was all windows. And it was kind of hard to keep your attention on mass when you could see the whole neighborhood. It was beautiful. And so, so we went to mass, and then we came home. And then Jen and I were in the bedroom or somewhere, sitting on the floor, because we both had last-minute presents to wrap. And for a while, we were both crying and reminiscing and stuff. And then pretty soon we started laughing. And Cindy came in and just this big question mark on Cindy's, what was going on? And because we realized how silly it was, for there we were, two widows sitting on the floor, trying to put wrapping around paper and stuff, and really feeling the moment. But so we had Christmas with each other and exchanged presents. And one of the things that was there was this big can of popcorn with all the different flavors in it. Mm-hmm. Well, I managed to knock that off its setting, and it went all over the couch. And then, I don't know why, but Christmas dinner, Cindy made chili. And just thought it was marvelous dinner, which was okay. So then there we are, these two widows, a son and daughter who didn't know what to do with their moms, and Jeff. So we went to the movies. I'd never gone to a movie on Christmas in all my life. And we saw The Grumpy Old Men. And so once again, we got the giggles about what we were doing. And so that was a Christmas, because you guys, well, you said you were home, but I really thought you went to New York. But anyway, knew that everybody else was doing their thing at home, And so, heck, a few minutes ago, I had something else in my head about Christmas. I've got a notebook over there with some ideas. But so there were different ones. I just need a pair of glasses too. They're in the car. On my scooter.
Here you go.
Yeah, I'll go.
Want me to just read them? Or? So not to have a whole lot of dead air. Here, I'll continue talking while we change the scene.
I know. I feel bad. I didn't realize, but there was a delay for a second when you were talking about the slinkies.
Oh,
so I'm
that's
hoping
okay.
it gets the whole story in it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stories with kids is when we lived in the house where your mom was born. That house down
Down the street from them?
Mm-hmm.
North Street.
Oh, from me too?
Mm-hmm.
That kids were. I'm not even sure if she was born yet, but they were just running around. We couldn't settle them down, and we had a set of sleigh bells. There were about 6 or 7 bells on a leather strap. So Grandpa took the sleigh bells, and he took the flash camera, and he somehow got a signal, and he went outside. Got a signal to me, and I made sure the kids were by a window. And he went out and shook the jingle bells and shut off the camera. And those kids just went, whoof. And in the bed, there was no camera. So that was an easy one. And when they were little, because both the Ecksteins and the Aunt Garnet and Aunt Jane living up in Mansfield were probably, I can't say they were our favorite family, but they were the ones that we had the same interests more than the others. So it would be get up in the morning, go to church, and kids get to open some presents, and then we bundle them up and we go to Massillon for dinner. And so we have dinner with Ecksteins over there. And then we come home, put the presents down, and get the Mansfield presents, and head up there for supper. And the kids are like, where did my Christmas tree go?
Yeah.
And so finally, after Denny was born, because Aunt Garnet, Joyce was the youngest of Aunt Garnet's, and Steve was the youngest of Aunt Jane's, I said, okay, we have the babies. You guys are coming to Worcester. So that started another tradition. And we brought them in. And then as they got older, when we were living in the house on Bowman Street, you probably heard this story a couple times, John, who is Father Matthew, and Jane's son, who's a priest, and the kids, a year or two before that, we had bought a small pool table. It was probably about this big, a little bit longer or something.
About 3 or 4 feet by 5 feet or 6.
And so for, usually Christmas Eve is just all pure panic. But Aunt Jane managed to get their house together, and they came over. And when they came in, we were all kind of settled, and so the kids were having a very nice, friendly game of pool. When we heard crash bang, and John had pulled the pool cue back, hit the dining room window, broke the glass out. It was wintertime, of course. And so Uncle Al, they look at the clock, and it was like 4:30 in Christmas Eve, and what was going to be over. So Uncle Al says, Ernie, I'll take out the glass and get it ready. If you can find a glass, go find it and bring it back. So they did, and they got a window, and they put it in. But poor John has never lived that one down. So that was a different one. And yet, what's some of the others in here with? And the Christmas, our last Christmas with Grandpa itself was a really special time. Once again, all my kids did not get there at the same time. Denny and Joe had come up, but Cindy and Mike's plane was late getting in. And so Denny and Flo had to get back and be with their kids.
Denny and Joe.
Denny and Joe. So they just kind of, so they were gone before Cindy and Mike came in. But before that, I had not been able to do any kind of Christmas shopping or, planning other than putting up a tree. And somewhere there is a video, if any of those videotapes, because Susie recorded as I was putting up the tree my comments about where the ornaments came from and whose they were and what kid's toy was that and things like that. And so we put up the tree and we had some decoration and somebody was cooking and it was just general mayhem. And so I just knew I had to, you just always have to be able to give, but I didn't know how to get around there. So I finally got to brainstorm. And this last couple of weeks, we were talking about that candy company. There were the green baskets that they got the candy in. Mm-hmm. So I went out and bought 5 baskets of candy.
Star chocolate.
For one for every family and wrapped them up and set them off in a corner. And then we didn't know what to do about kids and stuff. And so I had got a bunch of $1 bills. And so before Denny and Joe left, we gave them their baskets. And as soon as Denny saw the shape of it, he just grabbed it. He said, "It's mine, it's mine, it's mine." And everybody liked it. So then he's made up envelopes for each of you kids, and I think we had 5 $1 bills in them. And Christy and Josh that night decided they were going to sleep by the tree. And so the next Christmas morning, Grandpa and I were having coffee, and they kind of woke up, and we gave them their envelopes. And we have a picture. There is a picture, a snapshot in there where they're holding up their 5 $1 bills all fanned out, and they're all real happy with that. So that turned out to be happy. Mm. And also the night before at Mass, you decided to suck on your mother's nose.
On your nose?
No, on my shoulder, my sweater.
I thought it was your nose.
No.
And you just would.
Then you bit into it, and it was a cable knit sweater, and you got the right piece of whatever, and the whole shoulder and arm just went and unraveled. And thankfully I had a shirt on underneath it, because it just like somebody undoing a crochet line or whatever, it just went. And so, yeah, that was just you at church.
So it was, even though it was a sad time for us, but Grandpa had said from the beginning that he didn't know how to die. He only knew how to live. And so we said, then we will live. And that's what we did. And that he never pushed you kids away.
even though you would stand on his